ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्। समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्। Hari Om, salutations to all. What we are seeing are the Bhakta Lakshanas, and here we see from verse number 13 to 19. In 7 verses, Bhagavan gives 36 qualities of a devotee. So we have seen up to verse 17, Yo na hrishyati na dveshti na shochati na kankshati shubha shubha parityagi bhakti manya same priyaha. Now the last 2 verses in this set of 7, Samashatrau cha mitre cha tatha manapamanayoho शीतोष्ण सुख दुःखेषु समसंग vivarjitaha. One who is equanimous in both towards those who are enemies and who are friends. Samaha shatrau cha mitre cha, who is equanimous towards both. Tatha mana apamanayoho, as well as in man and apman, in honor or disrespect. Shita and Ushna, physically the cold season, in cold or in heat. Shita Ushna. Sukha and Dukkha, happiness and sorrow. Samaha, is equanimous. So in this we find equanimity at 4 levels. First is at body level, Shita and Ushna, heat and cold, sorry, cold and heat. Shita is cold, heat, and Ushna is heat. Shita and Ushna. Right now Kumbha is going on. So many Naga sannyasis you see there. Just in Bhasma, Digambar they are. Such terrific temperatures, 5, 7, 0, it keeps going down. And they are just there. Heat, cold, nothing bothers. You know, somebody asked Devraha Baba that how do these yogis not get affected by heat and cold? So Devraha Baba gave one very nice reply. From yogic standpoint, he said, one who has mastered the breath, if you master the breath, then you can activate the Surya Nadi, and even in freezing temperature you may be sweating, you will feel hot. And if you activate the Chandra Nadi properly and you have mastered it, then even in absolute heat you may feel cold. That is yogic method. Suryanadi, Chandranadi keep alternating in us and then we keep getting activated. There are methods to activate whichever nadi we want to, but it is also a lot of abhyas to activate it in such a way that it will produce heat and cold. Bhakta, what does Bhakta do? Shita, Ushna, Samaha. Because the bhajan of Bhagwan is, the mind of Bhakta is absorbed in bhajan of Bhagwan. So heat, cold, pleasure, pain doesn't bother. Shita and Ushna at the physical level. Then Sukha and Dukkha. You know, Shita and Ushna, if you go by, so one is at physical body level. Even Gurudev, if you see, he was so absorbed many times in his writing of the letters and all that. Sometimes the AC temperature is very cold and he doesn't have anything, Angavastram, nothing is there. Just a dhoti he has worn and he's writing away the letters. When the mind is absorbed, then what Shita, Ushna, nothing. In the Himalayan cold, Tapon Maharaj used to bathe in the Ganga. Gurudev used to bathe in the Ganga. So, after a point, the body will get trained, used to it also. Important point is the mind. The bhavna in the mind, when it is of surrender to Bhagwan, remembrance of Bhagwan, then the body identification one comes out of. So here, Shita, Ushna, then you have Sukha and Dukkha. That is at emotional level. When at physical level, then at emotional level, happiness and sorrow. Again, what is happiness? What is sorrow? For us, it goes by our vasanas. If things are conducive to my things that are conducive to my vasana, when they happen, then I feel very happy. Things which are not conducive to my vasana, if they happen, then I feel very unhappy. So somebody who is under the influence of the vasana, still identified, then sukha and dukkha. With sukha one gets elated, with dukkha one gets depressed. But here is somebody who is gone beyond that. So this bhakta is one who is in any situation remembering Bhagwan only. Because there is no hankering after pleasure. If there is hankering after sukha, dukkha will happen. Bhakta is finding joy in Bhagwan Naam Smaran. Bhakta can be, tortured like anything, but the bhakta still doesn't have any dukkha out of it. And bhakta can be given lot of sense enjoyments, but the bhakta is not affected by it. Nachiketa was given everything of this earth, the entire earth, long life, good health, wealth of this earth, all resources, everything at his disposal. Then Yamaraj thought, if this is not sufficient, he said, I give you Swarga also, the heavenly pleasures also. Dance, music, and sense enjoyments, everything. But don't ask for Brahma Vidya, he said. You take all this. Imagine all this offered to us, what will we do? Grab it first, enjoy it, then anyway Brahma Vidya will come. Nachiketa did not blink an eye. He said, Tavaiva vaha tavanritya gite. You keep your dance and music with you, O Yamraj, because I know they are temporary and however long life you give me, at some point this body will die. Apis sarvam jivitam, sarvam jivitam alpameva. All full life is alpam, it is short only, however long it is. Compared to eternity, it is small. I want that Brahma Vidya. Give only that. Nothing else I want. He is a seeker of Brahma Vidya. Same way, Bhakta doesn't want anything else except Bhagwan. Vivekananda, sometimes he is there. Sometimes kings are hosting him. Sometimes he is on the road. Nobody bothered about him. Both times, Sukha Dukkha Sama. It doesn't bother him at all. Sukha and Dukha also doesn't bother him. He lost his letter to World Parliament of Religions, and he was sitting in one goods train chanting away Mundakopanishad. He didn't feel dukhi, oh, I came all the way now. What can you do? It is night time now. He is sitting there. There is no accommodation. There is no place. Nothing because that letter is not there. No, he can't. That office is shut. So he's sitting in one goods train, chanting away Mundakopanishad, reveling in his bliss. Then next day morning he goes there to that office and they are not ready to accept him. He doesn't have a letter. Luckily, the convener of that whole World Parliament of Religions had traveled with him in the ship and he managed to come. He came there that time. Then he said, no, no, he is the one who has come from India and I'm taking him. He did not feel what to do, what will happen now, nothing. Balanced, he is chanting away Mundak Upanishad. No fear, no insecurity, nothing. So Sama, Sukha, Dukha. If you see Sakkubai, that Sakkubai, her life, if you see, there's so much of sorrow that she was given. And it's very interesting how she replies. I'm just going to take that and share with you one very beautiful incident that happens in the life of Sakkubai. Her exact words, I just want to share that. 1 minute. Yes, so Sakkubai, her mother-in-law, very cruel to her. She's a saint from Maharashtra, Sakkubai. So very cruel, and she will abuse her, she will kick her, she will be violent to her. She doesn't give her a full meal properly, makes her do all the work at the house. And Sakkubai, what is her thinking? See, anybody else would have thought, what wrong have I done? Why is this happening to me? And she is a devotee of Bhagavan Vithala. She could have easily thought that where is God, which God, what God. But you know what she says? She says, I am grateful to Bhagavan that I can continuously remember him because of this pain. If I had been blessed with a lot of prosperity and people who are just there to only love me, I may have forgotten. That is one thing. Then when somebody asked her that, don't you have mother and father? Why are they not coming to help you out of this? Sakkubai gave such a beautiful reply. You see here. She says, my parents live in Pandharpur. Vithala is my father. Rukmini is my mother. They have countless children. I am sure they will come to me one day and remove my difficulties. The mind is thinking only of Bhagavan. So Sukha and Dukha. See, when Sukha comes, we tend to forget Bhagavan. And Dukkha comes also, we may forget Bhagavan and become bitter. If bhakti is not there, both Sukha and Dukkha can just overwhelm us. But when bhakti is there, then Sukha and Dukkha, both of them don't affect. If Sukha comes, one says gratefully to Bhagavan, thank you very much, and keeps remembering Bhagavan, doesn't get carried away by Sukha. If Dukkha comes also, one says, thank you Bhagavan, I remember you, and let that Dukkha pass. Bhakta has that bhavna that whatever has Bhagavan sent, that is for my good. From that attitude, Bhakta operates. So Bhagavad Smaran doesn't go away. Now, in somebody else's context, if some abuse is happening, they may have to retaliate, they fight back, or they should not allow that. All that is applicable. I'm not saying that anybody who is abusing us, we should allow them to abuse. This is example of Sakkubai is given here so that we understand that what state the Bhakta is. We are talking about the supreme devotees of Bhagavan. And I'm giving some of these examples because these are devotees who are historically there, who have lived and who have exhibited these great qualities. No dukkha. Prahlad ji, you see how much the father is trying to kill him, but he has no dukha. So that we anyway saw earlier. So now, going ahead here. So Shita, Ushna, Sukha and Dukha. So one is at physical level, one is at mental level. Then Man and Apman. Somebody respects and honors and praises, applauds, give rewards, all that. And somewhere one is criticized also. If we go carried away by any of these, again, Bhakta's mind will not be carried away by any of this. Any praise credited to Bhagavan. Any insult debited to Bhagavan. Because the individual says, I am nobody. Karta is Bhagavan, so everything he only is a Bhokta also. That is one bhavana. Second bhavana is what? Bhakta says, this belongs to the individuality. I am not this individuality. You know, in one place it is said, Tapon Maharaj, when he used to wander now to in the Himalayas, and so he lives on Bhiksha. So when he lives on Bhiksha, sometimes what happens, people don't understand who are sadhus, sannyasis, why are they on Bhiksha and all that. One time it so happened that in one village he reached in the evening, lot of rain. But there was one person in that village whose house comes first in that village as you enter. Now that person did not have the right attitude towards sadhu sannyasis, and he started abusing Tapon Maharaj, and he did not allow him to come, and he is supposed to be the main person in that village, Mukhya or whatever you call him in that, Sarpanch or Mukhya, whatever that main person. He fired Tapon Maharaj and he was abusing him, insulting him. It is raining. Not one word of, you know, defense Tapon Maharaj is saying, and not one word in anger. He heard everything, whatever he said. He told him, Hari Om, Dhanyavad, went and sat below a tree. Whole night he was sitting below that tree. In that village, they didn't allow him to, that man didn't allow him to go and stay in the night. Rain. There's one tree out there. He was sitting there. You read his book, you will know that, Ishwar Darshan. He was sitting there. He doesn't think, he doesn't have to defend, he doesn't have to prove anything to anybody saying, I am not like this, I am not like that. Nothing. If that man said something, okay. He went and sat. But Bhakta doesn't get affected. Next day he moves out from there. The second village that he goes after that, he crosses that village. He goes to the next one. There they welcome him. They know his glory. He is known as Himavat Vibhuti. That was his very popular amongst those people who are, scholars, Vidwan, everyone, as well as simple village folk they know. So next village he goes there. People are receiving him with great honor and all that. At that time also is same. No difference. His mind doesn't get elated when there is great honor, and when there is some disrespect also, there is no problem. What was said earlier, no rishyati, no dveshti, all that in similar way it is. Mana and Apman. Gurudev used to say this, in one, not Gurudev. So Tapon Maharaj told this to Gurudev that when he wanted to teach, Tapon Maharaj told him, you go down. And he said, you see whether you can maintain this bhav of Brahma bhav. I am Brahman. That attitude, will you be able to maintain? So he tells him that. He says that wander around as an initiate, living as a beggar amongst those whom he had once emulated. Gurudev himself used to, in his journalist days, etc., he used to like to be in an elite class and belong to the rich and the powerful and all that. And when he saw that life as a successful, journalist in National Herald, he saw the hollowness of it, the vanities in that, and he dropped it. Now Tapan Maharaj says, you go down and beg alms. And these are the people who will be there. Means not exactly necessarily the same people, but the point is the same society has to come down to. So he says, this will rub out your ego, go down to the plains and continue your manan where it is most difficult. And that is why, if you see the sadhana of bhiksha, asking for bhiksha, is a very powerful sadhana. Because somebody will not even know. They will criticize, condemn. They will say you are unproductive, you are useless, you people are don't not working, you are beggars, you are a leech upon society, all that. That time one has to ask. If one is hurt, that means bhakti has to become strong still. And if somebody is praising and one gets elated, that means bhakti is still to become strong. Here, mana and apamana. Samashatrau cha mitre cha tatha mana apamanayo. Even shatru and mitrata. So shatru and mitra also is our projection actually. Yes, there is at certain level applicable at Vyavahar, but otherwise, who is my friend and who is my foe? Based on my likes and dislikes, I decide this person is my friend, this person is my foe. Somebody is hurting me, harming me, my foe. Somebody is very caring and loving to me, my friend. At one level, okay. But at a deeper level, if we see, so many times it happens that the friend only turns out to be a foe. If you see Kashmir files and so many of these, how many, Kashmiri Hindus were massacred, killed. Seventh genocide it was. 19th Jan only, that was the date. 4 days back it went. The friends who have been friends for 20 years, they have given up, they have not protected, and they only have brought these fanatics and killed. So who is a friend? Samsara is terrific. Samsaroyam ativa vichitra. Is very vichitra it is. We call somebody as friend. I'm not saying don't have any trust on anybody and start suspecting everybody, not that. But who is friend and who is enemy? Sometimes somebody who is genuinely interested in our welfare and telling us certain critical feedback, we take it personally and think this person is always criticizing me. He's not my friend. He doesn't want me to progress. But it may be exactly opposite. That person may be wanting you to progress and pointing out faults so that you improve. But we may say my enemy. So Bhakta doesn't see friend and enemy like that, categorize the world like that. This is my friend, this is my enemy. If one is in a certain role, a position, let us say somebody is a army officer, then if one has to see, okay, the borders of my country have to be protected, and if there are neighboring countries who are attacking, then one sees them, okay, there is an enemy who is at our doors, we have to defend our country. That is the role based. Same way, if somebody attacks our house or anything like that, then that is a role based thing that has to happen. But psychologically, when we brand and categorize people, friend and enemy, and if we think that we can harm somebody because they are the enemy, there is no way that we can harm anybody without harming ourselves first. Same applies to others also. If somebody is coming to harm us, definitely they will harm themselves first. And that karma also will not leave them. So, Shatru and Mitra. Who is Shatru? Who is a Mitra? Bhakta doesn't even bother to cultivate friendship and to avoid enemies. After a point, see, at some point in life, all that is required at Vyavahar level, one will do also. But somebody whose mind is now fully wanting to realize Bhagwan, and here are the qualities of such bhaktas who have already realized Bhagwan. Such people, their mind doesn't think of friend and enemy, they see oneness, that all are one. Like Gurudev, how we used to say that the very finger that pokes the eye, it is my finger and my eye. Both are mine. One doesn't feel, oh, this eye is alien, that cut this finger is alien, now cut it. No. But if the neighbor's finger that pokes, that is not me. Give him punishment. The feeling of I pervades the whole world for these great Mahatmas. So no friend, no enemy. In fact, these are the bhaktas. You will see so many examples of great bhaktas and Mahatmas. When they are there, the predator and prey lose their natural instinct of fear and aggression. And they are sitting there. Goat and tiger are sitting there. So, Sama shatrau cha mitre cha tatha manapamanayoho shitoshna sukha dukkheshu samaha. In all this, at physical level, emotional level, intellectual level, relational level, equanimous. Why? Sangavarjitaha, free from attachment. These two qualities, they keep on coming in this 36. You will see one common thread is no attachment and equanimity. Meaning, no attachment is detachment and then practice of equanimity. And they go very closely hand in hand. The more detachment I have, the more equanimous I am. The more equanimous I am, the more detached I can be. If I lose my equanimity, it's because of some attachment. If I'm having some attachment, I won't be able to be equanimous. So one finds when he says in this shloka, Sangha Varjitaha, free from all attachment. Even earlier it came, no, Nirmamaha. So some of the qualities one may feel there is some repetition. But in this, when we see, there will be a slight hint of little bit of a change. In a different context, this will be said. There, Nirmama, it is only about myness, about things I have, my name, my power, my position, my wealth, my people. There it is more about I and mine. Here, Sanghavarjita is for everything. No attachment to anything. Because all these four, physical, emotional, intellectual, relational, at all these four, no attachment at all. Sanghavarjita. Then the person will be equanimous. See, Tapan Maharaj, when he left his home, he did not leave any address saying, I am going to such and such place in the Himalayas. Nothing. When he took sannyas, and when he decided to just leave home, he left. Earlier, once he had decided to leave, but he could not leave because the father passed on just at that time, and his younger brother was still studying. So 8 years Tapan Maharaj waited, ensured that the family is taken care of, the younger brother's study is over, he gets a job and all that. And then after 8 years, when all this has happened, he left. He didn't tell, and he was anyway wandering monk. So they did not know where to go, what to do, where to find him, nothing. 17 years later, they found him. And see, this is what happens. When the brother comes to know about him, he is very happy and he writes a letter and he expresses a desire that we want to be in touch with you and be in constant communication with you. That same brother, for whom he waited 8 years to ensure that he is independent and the family is taken care of, he postponed his renunciation. 8 years is not a small thing. When you have decided to just renounce the world, at that time the father has passed on, and he waits back 8 years. Then he left. And the same brother now has found him after 17 years. And just is saying out of love that, I want to be in touch with you and all that. You see his reply, what he writes. Tapon Maharaj writes that there is no objection in writing to me if you require any spiritual counsel. I shall be glad to help you as I help other people with advice. Otherwise, I do not find any use of augmenting worldly activities by correspondence. See that? No attachment. Love is there. So he did what he had to do, and now he has dropped that completely. So for him, everyone is equal now. And he says, I can guide spiritually, but I don't want to augment worldly talk. That is Tapon Maharaj. So Sanghavarjita is that. Gurudev also had such great detachment. No attachment to anyone, anything. If somebody gave him some costly, whatever, sometimes gold cufflinks or sometimes some watch or some necklace or something, if they gave him, many times he will just give it away to some volunteer who has done great work. No attachment to anything. There is one story of this devotee from South India, Avadayakkal. Avadayakkal. So she is from childhood, you know, very obedient, very devoted to Bhagwan and Shivji. And she will do what she has been told, and she will follow all instruction. She would eat whatever is given, wear whatever is given. No desire to get more or do more or anything like that. She is very content in her bhakti for Bhagwan is most important for her. And any work that is given, she will go finish that. But her mind revels in Bhagwan. So, at a very young age, she has become enlightened. She has realized the truth. And she used to move around place to place, singing the glory of Bhagwan and sharing whatever knowledge she has, bhakti she has with people. Now, once what happened, she came to Tiruvananthapuram. And the Raja there has heard about her. So he called her and he gave 1,000 bilva leaves made of gold. She devotee of Bhagwan, Shiva, and he wanted to honor her. He gave 1,000 bel patra, bilva leaves in gold. What did Avadekal do? She went to the temple, offered all the bel patra to the Shivlinga. And after that, what did she do? She collected all the bel patra which she has offered, that gold bel patra, and she took them in the bag, offered into the river. Why? Because that is Nirmalya now, offered to Bhagwan. And Bhagwan's Nirmalya is taken, put it in the river, it will become biodegradable. No? It will go into some food for the creatures. No attachment to this is gold and that is, some regular leaves, nothing. Her mind is not bothered. In the Gita, if you see, Samaloštashma Kanchana, that also you can see here. In 5th chapter, it comes Samaloštashma Kanchana. Same vision for Loshta, Ashma, and Kanchana. So, a lump of clay and gold, no difference. Because the point is not that physically they don't know this is gold, this is mud, and they don't know the value of it. They know, but in the mind, there is no special status that is given to this, because in their personal life they are connected to something so much more divine This doesn't hold extra value for them, and for them, whatever is offered for Bhagwan. So she offers it to Bhagwan, and then just like regular Nirmalya, she puts it. Not that she is ignorant and she doesn't know what is the value of gold, but this is her bhav. This has been offered to Bhagwan, and once it is offered, it is Bhagwan's. And the Nirmalya is done. As regularly with any other Nirmalya, what is done? It is done. So like this, so many examples are there. Sama Sangha Vivarjitaha. So this is verse number 18. In our life, how to do whatever are our attachments, we have to find out. The reason why Bhakta has to become Sangha Varjita is because the devotee, if the devotion has to be steady, must be anchored in detachment. They can't be separate from each other. If I am attached to anything, the mind will keep going there only. It may be work, it may be popularity, it may be money, it may be people. Whatever my mind is attached to, it will go. Whatever my mind has aversion to, it will go there. Raga and Dvesha both will take the mind away from bhakti. If bhajan has to be strong and steady, if bhakti has to be steady and one has to be continuously remembering and connected to Bhagwan, then attachment cannot be there. When a person becomes supremely detached, that person becomes full of love and compassion. It doesn't become a boring, dull, insensitive life. No, very love and compassion is there for all. It is not limited to specific people. So that is the beauty of this. So Samasanga Vivarjita. Now the 19th one. Tulya Nindastu Ter Mauni Santushto Yena Kenachit Aniketa Sthira Matihi Bhaktiman Me Priyo Naraha. So again similar here. Tulya Ninda Stutihi. In Ninda and Stuti, in insult and in praise, same. No difference. Tulya Ninda Stutir Mauni. One incident comes where in Kollam in Kerala, this happened that Gurudev's Yajna was conducted, was organized. And the person there is Mr. Damodar Menon. So he is the organizer. Now he invited Gurudev for the Bhiksha. And so what he has done, elaborate preparation, to welcome Gurudev, and then from the Yagnashala, he will come to the house, he will sit on an elephant and come, and all that. He has done big preparation. And there are, from Yagnashala when he has to come, so it's like one procession. So many important people, dignitaries and all will be there, and then Gurudev also will come, and there will be elephants, and there will be this, music and all that. He has bhavana and he reveres Gurudev, so he is organized. Now these organizers, other members, volunteers, etc., they found out that some people are planning to put footwear and chappal malas on the road. And so they have decided that we will sabotage this. So black flags and chappals on the road, and they wanted to even pelt some stones and all that. Now the organizers came to know, okay, these people are planning like this. So they all went and they told Gurudev this. And you know what Gurudev said? He just laughed. And this is what he said. He says that, well, I am used to receiving both garlands and stones, praise and abuse. So let us face the situation. Let us accept the black flags as gifts from Lord Ayyappa. Look at that. And I'm used to it. Don't worry. Nothing happened that day. He just went. The point is what? It did not bother him. And even if something had happened, it would not have bothered him because he said very clearly, black flags, let us think of it as gift of Ayyappa. So of course they didn't pelt stones and all that. There were some of them who were there with black flag and all that, but nothing much. Gurudev just went. Like that, there are so many instances which happen. Tulya Ninda and Stuti. Criticism will happen, and when you want to do good work and selfless work, definitely there will be a lot of people who will criticize. Gurudev says there are three stages. It's very interesting when he speaks about this. He says there are three stages in life for people. He says first stage in the life, especially of a missionary. He says a missionary in the sense who has the, I'm not talking about Christian missionary. Missionary means who has a mission in life, who wants to achieve something great and who wants to serve the society and bring about a transformation, revive the culture, all that. So he says first stage for that missionary is they will completely ignore you. They will not bother absolutely anything. You go to them with a plan, they will say, this will not work, there's no point, this is all useless, kuch nahi hone wala hai, nothing can be done. And they will not bother. Even if you manage to do something, they will just ignore you. Second step is they will oppose you. Gurudev says that is very good because earlier they were ignoring, they were sleeping. Now they have woken up. They are opposing you. It means they are taking notice of what you are doing and then they are putting objections to it. That means you are doing something worth. So they will oppose you. What you make plans, they will find fault in that. He says you should congratulate yourself because you are successful in waking them up. At least they are now taking objection. Earlier they were having apathy, ignoring, not bothered. Now they are waking up. They have woken up. Now they are putting objections. He says if you cross that stage, they will adore you. And when they adore you, you should run. You should run means what? Meaning don't get tempted and carried away by that adoration because that may distract you from your vision. Their adoration should be directed in such a way that they start loving the vision that you have to revive the Sanatan Dharma. Don't take it for yourself. Then you will be distracted and the whole vision will collapse. Guide them to admire the Sanatan Dharma, to bring them close towards Bhagavan, all that. Very beautiful. What guidance Gurudev has given for the people who want to serve the society is very amazing. Because he himself has gone through all this by personal experience, started this whole thing, and so fantastic guidance. Today also one can read so much leadership, one can learn from all that. And he went through all these stages. Same thing Vivekananda also. They ignored him for 7 years in this country when 1886 Ramakrishna Paramahamsa passed away. 1893 Vivekananda went to World Parliament of Religion. 7 years he roamed in this country, no support. Ignored him. Then he went to World Parliament of Religions. And then he spoke and people woke up. And he got a rousing welcome when he came back and Chennai he was received and all that. But people started finding fault also at that point in time. And then they revered him, adored him. And what did he do? 1902 he left. He set up the Ramakrishna mission and all that, but he left. 1902 dropped the body, finished. So the point is, Tulya Ninda Stuti. In the Stuti, in Ninda, Bhakta doesn't bother. Mauni. Why? Tulya Ninda Stutihi Mauni. Bhakta is silent. Meaning what? Not that Bhakta will not speak anything. Inside there is Maun. Real Maun is the Maun inside. Maun of the mind and Maun of the ego. Ego has become completely silent, finished. Mauni literally means that. By continuous reflection, one whose ego has become completely dissolved is a Mauni. That person may speak, is Bhagavan only speaking through that person because there is no ego there. So it's not about speaking, not speaking. Gurudev may be an absolutely eloquent speaker, but he's still a Mauni. There's one nice incident. Somebody asked one devotee that, today I did not come to Puja Gurudev's lecture. I missed the lecture. Can you please tell me what did Gurudev say? Very genuine devotee he was. So he asked. And that lady, what she replied? She said, I was too distracted by his silence that I did not listen to the words. What a beautiful statement she said. That I was too distracted by his silence that I did not listen to the words. And Gurudev is such an eloquent speaker. But look at her mind also. She is also absorbed in silence and she is listening to Gurudev and she is also seeing the silence behind those words. From where these words are coming, that silence, that is Atma Shanti. Always Gurudev said, words of power are born from a silent mind. And Gurudev was like that. Deepest silence. From there, everything is coming out. It's not he wants anything for himself. There's not ego. There's no self-projection. There is no sense of, comparison and none of that is there. So complete stillness is inside. Absolute dynamism is outside. But it is rooted in that stillness within. That is Mauni. A Bhakta is like that. Ramana Maharshi did not speak much, but what he spoke so powerful. Why? Because it is born from that awareness, which is beyond all thoughts, beyond all speech, that awareness which can't be grasped. Bhakta who is one with Bhagavan is like that, Mauni. So, that incident which is there of Changdev and Jnaneshwar Maharaj. So, it is said that Changdev wrote one big yogi, and he has lived for some 1,000 years or something. And one long letter he wrote when he came to know about the glory of Jnaneshwar Maharaj because the word spread. So he wrote one long letter introducing himself and all that, sent it to Jnaneshwar Maharaj, calling him for some debate and all that. After that whole letter was read, Jnaneshwar Maharaj, what he replied, blank letter. Nothing. One blank sheet he sent him. So Changdev received that. He's surprised. What is this? Chalo, I will go to meet him. I'll show him who am I. And he's sitting on that lion, tiger, and he has snakes in his hand, and because he has a lot of siddhis, big yogi, tapasvi, all that. So he's going like that to meet Jnaneshwar Maharaj. Now Jnaneshwar Maharaj, because they said Changdev wants to meet, no? So he started off. Then on the way, somebody told him, okay, this is what is happening. He is coming on one lion with his, on one tiger is sitting and he's coming there and he has snakes and all that, he has mastered nature and all. Now Jnaneshwar Maharaj, he sits on a wall with his brothers and sisters and he commands the wall, chalo. He flies and comes. Changdev, his pride is humbled completely because he feels so proud that I am having control over nature and ferocious animals and this and that. And Chamdev, his whole pride is humbled. Why? Because Jnaneshwar Maharaj is controlling inert. A wall, he has flown on the wall and he has come there. He surrenders. The point is, the bhakta is not only mauni, bhakta can make others also mauni, meaning make them also surrender their ego. The real mauna is the mauna of ahankar. Our physical maun is meant for us to turn within, introspect, observe our thinking, and slowly go beyond thought, beyond ego. The real mauna is that. Dakshinamurti Bhagwan, na, Mauna Vyakhya Prakadita Para Brahma Tattvam Yuvanam. Mauna Vyakhyan, it sounds oxymoron, no? So silent eloquence. How can silence and eloquence go together at the same time? Mauna Vyakhya. Vyakhya is, elucidation, expression, speaking, commentary, all that. Silent commentary. What silent commentary? Which means silence itself is a commentary in one way. Second is the commentary is on, but it is all rooted in silence. One who understands, understands. Mano Vyakhya Prakadita Para Brahma Tattvam Yuvanam. Guru is old, Guru is young, and the Shishyas are old. And Guru does not speak a word, just shows this Jnana Mudra. Shishyas tu Chinna Samshayaha. All the Shishya, their doubts are destroyed. So, Tulya Ninda Stutihi, Mauni, then Santushto Yena Kena Chit. Whatever may be the things that come to one in life, Bhakta is very happy with that. If somebody praises, great. No, doesn't praise, great. If food comes, fine. Food doesn't come, fine. If there's some money, fine. There's no money, fine. Bhakta depends only on Bhagavan, nothing else. That is Ananya Bhakti. Santushto yena kena chit. Ambitionless Bhakta will be. There is a high level of Satvikta, this is. Here is Bhakta who is already one with Bhagavan, so Santushto yena kena chit. Doesn't bother about anything. In our situation, what should we do? Have Santosh in life that we saw earlier also. Santushta Satatam Yogi. One who is Santushta and Satatam Yogi, ever self-controlled. So in the same way here again, Santushto Yena Kena Chit. No matter what life brings, except because it's prarabdha of the body, something will come. And what can come? All this only can come. Heat, cold, pleasure, pain, success, failure. How much one will get round and round with all this? At some point the Bhakta says, doesn't matter. There was one nice story about one monk. So this monk, he was studying in one monastery, and the teacher there is enlightened. But the students there who are there, they are very simple folk. And this one monk who is there is very highly intellectual and all that. So this enlightened guru, he sends him to another monastery. And every month, this monk will write one letter to the guru. So he will write, first month when he went, he wrote, oh, I am learning so much here. This guru is so great and he is answering my questions and I am able to understand now the philosophy, this, that. Now the teacher read, tore it, threw away. Second month, I am able to meditate and I am able to be very steady in my meditation and I am experiencing some light and this and that. Teacher threw it. Like that it went on and on and on for about 8 to 10 months. Every time one letter will come once in the month and he will explain his spiritual progress. Now I am feeling expansion. I feel love and compassion for all the beings and I feel so grateful and this, that. torn, thrown away. After 10 months, there is no letter which comes. 2 months pass, 3 months pass, nothing, no letter has come. This guru also is very happy. Now the disciples are wondering, who are there, his friends in that monastery. Okay, every time the letter came, the guru read, he tore and threw away. Now 3 months have passed, there is no letter which has come. So the disciples, they were wondering what happened. Is he alive, not alive, what? So the guru understood, okay, the disciples are thinking this. So the guru sent one disciple with a message saying that, 3 months have passed, I have not received any report from you. What happened? You know the reply that that student gave? He just wrote, who cares? Question mark, and he sent it. Who cares? So the disciples were sitting there, they didn't understand. They thought it is so rude and arrogant. How can he say, who cares? Meaning he's being so disobedient and he doesn't want to report to the guru. But the guru smiled. He folded that letter and he kept it. So the disciples are wondering, what happened? That man, he was so arrogant, he's saying, who cares? The guru explained, this man has lost his ego now. That's why he doesn't care. Expansion and this and that, nothing. Because that ego is a myth. He realized the truth. So he says, who cares? He doesn't have to report anything about the ego. That is Mauni. And Santushto yena kena chit. Now whatever life brings, it is prarabdha of this BMI. I am not this BMI. Bhakta is one with Bhagavan. Whatever prarabdha brings. Mirabai was given that poison. She drank. This snake was kept in the garland. She didn't bother. Santushto yena kena chit. Again I am saying, see, this is high state of devotion, sattva guna, surrender. This is not to be confused with laziness. Ki anything one can just be, okay, chalta hai, chalta hai. No, no. What is the role, what one has to do, one has to do. But if one comes to this high level of bhakti, it will automatically happen. No? We have outgrown childhood toys or not. Who cares about childhood toys now? We may play with the child also, but we don't bother. It doesn't affect us. Same way, who cares? It has to be taken in the right spirit. That ego is lost. That entity who was always wanting something and feeling that, oh, I have to do this, I have to do that, I have to become this, become that, that entity only is gone. So, santushto yena kena chit. Aniketaha. Aniketa means homeless, no home. Literally also it means that some of the bhaktas are like that. They don't have any fixed place. They keep wandering from one place to another. Home is a symbol of attachment again. Symbol, not necessarily every home means I am attached. No. There are so many grahasthis who are detached also. There is no doubt in that. But in general, home is I have worked hard, I have attained this, and this is my house, this is my family. And so in general, it is a symbol of that. So when he said earlier, that Aniket, when he said Sangha Varjita, it means free from attachment. Aniketa here, one meaning is literally bhaktas move around to bring the message of Bhagavan to maximum people. Like Hanumanji is in this world as a Chiranjeevi till the end of the Kalpa for what? Only for sharing Bhagavan's name and go one house to house. Naraji is also like that. Tasmin stvam sthapayishyami gehe gehe jane jane. In Kali Yuga, he says that I will establish bhakti in every house, in every heart. So he moves around. So one meaning is literally they move around to spread the knowledge of Bhagavan, to spread devotion, etc. Second is the whole world is their home. They don't have one home. Gurudev writes very beautifully here that when Tapon Maharaj told him to come down and live as a beggar and see if you can maintain the Brahma Bhav. So Gurudev writes, he says, thus in May 1951, I walked down from the heights of Gangotri to Rishikesh and from there moved on to Delhi with a plan to set out on an all India pilgrimage. I travelled on foot for some 6 months, living on bhiksha, sleeping in ashrams, temples, and under wayside trees. It was quite an experience for rubbing off the ego. Look at that. Education, social status, family connection, prejudices, sham values, these were no longer mine. Meaning he is not identified because these are the things in the society that are valued. And you go as a beggar, they will think you are an illiterate. They will think you have no, social status. They will think that you have abandoned your family. They will have enough prejudice against you, all that. So they may assume many of these, and it is good to rub off the ego. They may criticize, condemn, they may do anything. So he says, when people do not know who you are, they consider you as an inconvenient beggar, a worthless monk, an unproductive member of the society. Look at this life, na? Gurudev went to Swami Shivanandi with this attitude that these sadhus are social parasites and leech upon the society, and I will expose the bluff. Now he himself is going through that. This is what society thinks of you. So he says, and they insult you with looks of abhorrence. If you ask me, this kind of discipline is the best cure for ego disease. And then comes a fantastic line. He says, I was with a home nowhere, but at home everywhere. See that? With a home nowhere, but at home everywhere. That is Aniketa. One of Gurudev's names is Om Aniketaya Namaha. At home everywhere. Even where you are criticized, you are at home, then you are a bhakta. If one is criticized and one takes it personally and then one reacts, nowadays it can happen on social media, people troll or they'll just write some abusive comment. There, how can we react? That means bhakti is kacha still. At home everywhere. So that is Aniketaha. Tulya Ninda Stutir Mauni Santushto Yena Kenachit Aniketa Sthira Matihi. Whose mati is sthir, is steady, not wavering, shaking. Purpose of life is very not only clear but established in that goal of life. For this Jivan Mukta, for this Bhakta, it is already established sthira in that bhav that I am one with Bhagavan. No, what you call that as wavering, fickleness, unsteadiness, nothing. Established, like how we saw Sthita Prajna. The wisdom is firmly established in the knowledge that my nature is infinite consciousness. Bhakta's wisdom is this, firmly established in the fact that I am one with Bhagavan. Bhagavan and I are essentially one. No doubt. This is not intellectual knowledge. It is not some doubt, skepticism, or still some jiva bhav is there. Nothing. Sthira matihi, steadily established in this fact that I am one with Bhagavan. As not as the ego, not as the body, but essential nature is one. Sthiramati. For us, what is Sthiramati? To be focused on the goal. That my goal is mukti, and anything that takes me towards mukti, towards bhakti, follow that. Anything takes me away from that, drop it. Sthiramati is to be able to say yes to what takes me closer to the truth, no to what takes me away from the truth. Sthiramati. Not that, I've been walking the truth for so long now, living in self-control. Abhi thoda to concession, thoda I can break rule, no, little cheat day, indulge some more, thoda one little attachment, Swamiji, thoda. nothing doing. Sthiramati. Once one has decided, walk the path, just walk the path. With that firm conviction that yes, this is my goal and I want to reach there. Temptations will come, distractions will come. That is what Sthiramati is required. No, then if I fall for it, then what Sthiramati it is? No, no, it is human, it will happen. If it happens by some past karma, etc., some tendency which is there, which is tempting me, that is where Sthiramati is required, no? Some past vasana is there and so it is tempting me to drink something or smoke something or to do anything which is adharmic also. Now the pressure may be there because of some purva janma samskar. Not to fall for that and say no, not that ability to say a firm no, sthiramati. And to say a firm yes to what will take me ahead in sadhana, tapasya, sadhana, japa, puja, to say yes to that. Sthiramati, that for us is sthiramati. If I follow that sthiramati, one will realize the state of oneness with Bhagavan. You know, Gautam Buddha did so many things to realize the truth. Finally, he sat down below that Bodhi tree and what did he say? Shariram va patayami karyam va sadhayami. Either this body will drop or I will attain the truth. I am not moving from here without that. That is called Sthiramati as a sadhak. Because he tried many sadhanas and everything, and then he said, now nothing doing, this mind will go on playing its trick. I will either drop this body or I will wake up enlightened. That's all. Didn't move. Sat down there, got up only enlightened after that. That is called Sthiramati. So, Bhaktiman, Bhagavan says here, such a Bhaktiman is Priyaha, is very dear to him. Now, these are 7 shlokas 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. The 10th one is actually meaning 7, sorry, 8th one. This 8th one is actually a Falashruti as well as characteristic of a Bhakta. See, ye tu dharmyamritamidam yathoktam paryupasate shraddhadhana mat paramaha bhaktastetiva me priyaha. Whoever are the bhaktas, ye tu dharmyamritam idam. This what he said in 7 verses, no? Or actually even the whole 12th chapter you can say, but actually it is 7 verses. He says this is the amrit of dharma, this is the nectar of dharma. And that's why these 8 verses are also called as Amrita Ashtakam. In the Gita there is this Amrit Ashtakam. Which is Amrit Ashtakam? This. Verses 13 to 20, including this Falashruti. So, why this is not only a Falashruti, it is also characteristic of Bhakta. Why? Because Bhagavan is saying that all this who has, that person is again dear to me. Whoever is following this, ye tu dharmyamritam idam yathoktam paryupasate. See, the Bhakta who is already one with Bhagavan, that to anyway Bhagavan and Bhakta, they are one. And such devotees are dear to Bhagavan who are Param Bhaktas, who are Ananya Bhaktas. But one notch below, whoever is sincerely trying, paryupasate means sincerely trying to realize the truth, who has not yet realized absolute oneness, but they are sincerely walking the path as per these 8 verses, cultivating these qualities. Bhagavan says, ye tu dharmyamritam idam yathoktam paryupasate. Upasate, they are striving again and again. Paryupasate, upasate is to strive, to realize this oneness. Paryupasate, again and again. Continuously they are trying to do this, follow this. How? Shraddhadhanaha, with great faith that this will lead me to that. And keeping me as the supreme goal. What we said, na sthira buddhi. That. Mat paramaha. Keeping Bhagavan as the supreme goal with great faith, they are trying to live these 36 values. Such devotees, bhaktaha te ativa me priyaha, they are supremely dear to me. Why? Because those who have Shraddha in Bhagavan, who have Shraddha in the words of the Shastra, what Bhagavan himself has said, and they are walking this path with great conviction, consistent sadhana, keeping Bhagavan as the goal in their mind. Such devotees, he said, they are extremely dear to me. Bhaktaha te ativa me priyaha. They are supremely dear to me. Because away from Maya, they have turned and they are coming towards Bhagavan. And Maya temptations will come, but they are not giving into it, they are walking steadily. Bhagavan says, those devotees are supremely dear to me. This is called the nectar. This is the real Amrit. Kumbha is meant for Amrit, attaining Amrit. This is that Amrit. If one follows these 8 verses, Amrit of Dharma is this. The purpose of going to Kumbha also is to attain this. Because so many such bhaktas come there. Mahatmas, devotees, sannyasis, sadhus, they all come there. Go to that Kumbha, take bath there, do satsang, meet some of the bhaktas, get upadesh from them, live these values, then one will experience that Amrit. The nectar of immortality, that my nature is Brahman, I am not this body, mind, intellect, I am one with Bhagavan. And in fact, Bhagavan alone is this whole Srishti is appearance of the divine, there is nothing else except Bhagavan. Kumbha is to give us that vision that everything is divine. Today we are seeing everything as material only. To shift my mind from the material to that which is absolutely divine, from finite to infinite. That's why asatoma sadgamaya tamasoma jyotirgamaya mrityorma amritam gamaya. That is the journey. So here Bhagavan says, such devotees are very, very dear to me. Now he concludes this here with this shloka. This 12th chapter has concluded, and we see the second portion of the Gita concludes here. First 6 chapters, Karma Yoga. Next 6 chapters, Bhakti Yoga. Last 6 chapters, Jnana Yoga. In that way, broad division is done. So, we conclude this second section also here. Om Tatsaditi Srimad Bhagavad Gitasu Upanishadsu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre Shri Krishna Arjuna Samvade Bhakti Yogo Nama Dvadashodhyayaha सर्वधर्मान् परित्यज्य मामेकं शरणं व्रज अहं त्वा सर्वपापेभ्यः मोक्षयिष्यामि मा शुचः. We will chant the first shloka again so that we continue to study this and imbibe in our life. Om Shri Paramatmane Namaha अथ द्वादशोऽध्यायः अर्जुन उवाच एवं सततयुक्ता ये भक्तास्त्वां पर्युपासते ये चाप्यक्षरमव्यक्तं तेषां के योगवित्तमाः. So we offer this sadhana at the feet of Bhagavan. कायेन वाचा मनसेन्द्रियैर्वा बुद्ध्यात्मना वा प्रकृते स्वभावात् करोमि यद्यत् सकलं परस्मै नारायणायेति समर्पयामि. नारायणायेति समर्पयामि. Om Tat Sat Brahmarpanamastu. Om Tat Sat Krishnarpanamastu. Om Tat Sat Chinmayarpanamastu. Thank you everyone for joining in this Manan Sadhana on Gita chapter 12. We will continue with chapter 13 in February. I will release the date soon. We will thank all our Yajmans who have supported this entire series. So our Mukhya Yajmans, Kalpana Morparia ji, Parag Wagh, Bharat Khanna ji, Vandana Jagwani ji, our Gita Aarti Yajman for all the sessions, Ajay Marchand ji, Dipti ji, Hemant ji, Jyotsna ji, Jolly ji, Jayashri ji, Tarana ji, Rashmi ji, Sapna ji, Rajan ji, Shalini ji, Nalini ji, Vijaya ji, Nandita ji, Saraswati ji, and Renuka ji. Our Dainik Yajmans for today, Srijata Basu ji, Mridula Shetty ji, Rekha Shanbag ji, and Vaishali Kamat ji, and today's Aarti Yajman, Tejal Patel ji. So we invoke God's grace, Gurudev's blessings on the Yajmans, their families, and everyone present here. May Bhagwan bless us with this Dharma Amrit. May we have these qualities of the devotees. May we have the sthirta to attain oneness with Bhagwan by walking this path steadily. And may we experience fulfillment in our lives. Jai Shri Krishna.
ॐ जय भगवद्गीते मैया जय भगवद्गीते हरिया कमल विहारिणि सुन्दर सुपुनीते ॐ जय भगवद्गीते कर्म सुमर्म प्रकाशिनि कामासक्तिहरा तत्त्वज्ञानविकासिनि विद्या ब्रह्मपरा ॐ जय भगवद्गीते निश्चलभक्तिविधायिनि निर्मलमलहारिणि शरणरहस्यप्रदायिनि सबविधि सुखकारी ॐ जय भगवद्गीते रागद्वेषविदारिणि कारिणि मोद सदा भवभयहारिणि तारिणि परमानन्दप्रदा ॐ जय भगवद्गीते आसुरभावविनाशिनि नाशिनि तमरजनि दैवी सद्गुणदायिनि हरिरसिका सजनी ॐ जय भगवद्गीते समता त्याग सिखावनी हरिमुख की बानी सकल शास्त्र की स्वामिनी श्रुतियों की रानी ॐ जय भगवद्गीते दया सुधा बरसावनी मातु कृपा की जय हरि बल प्रेम दान कर अपनों कर लीजय ॐ जय भगवद्गीते ॐ जय भगवद्गीते मैया जय भगवद्गीते हरिया कमल विहारिणि सुन्दर सुपुनीते ॐ जय भगवद्गीते ॐ जय भगवद्गीते ॐ जय भगवद्गीते बोलिए गीता मैया की जय
बोलिए श्री कृष्णचंद्र भगवान की जय, श्री सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय। ओम पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ओम शांति शांति शांति। हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि ओम।